Kovu. I thought Kovu was really cute in a lying way. Hello, Funnier here, and welcome if you're new here, and welcome back if you've been here. Today I'm reacting to 10 Disney jokes that are funnier as an adult. I've already seen, I feel like I've seen as all that I could have seen out of all the movies I've seen of the jokes that are like in kids movies but meant for adults. But yeah, anyway, yeah, this is by the richest, so you know it's gonna be good. Let's get to it.
While these films are primarily aimed at children, they capture the hearts of people of all ages. They also have a tendency to tickle our funny bones, and not always for obvious reasons. Or at least, obvious to kids. Here are 10 Disney jokes that are funnier when you're an adult. Before we get to the fun part, make sure you've clicked the red subscribe button for more great videos. Zootopia. Bunny cop Judy Hopps moves to the big city in order to live her dream in Zootopia. Things don't quite turn out the way she planned, however. In order to prove herself, Judy takes on the case of a missing otter and is thrust into an even bigger plot. Together with Nick Wilde the fox, she begins her investigation to discover the reason predatory animals are going savage. Their search leads them to an underground lab in an abandoned subway tunnel. Inside, they find toxic blue flowers called night howlers, being turned into a dangerous drug. The sheep running the lab, Doug, is dressed in a yellow hazmat suit and even receives visitors named Walter and Jesse. Sound familiar? 101 Dalmatians. First released in 1961, 101 Dalmatians is considered one of Disney's classic films. While the dark plot of the movie mostly goes over the heads of young children, adults can see the full extent of the horror. What kind of person wants to make a dogskin coat anyway? Clearly, Cruella de Vil had issues. In order to overshadow the devious plot, there are plenty of jokes appropriate for kids in this classic. At the same time, there are also some more scandalous ones.
Cruella de Vil is literally
the most obvious one is right at the end of the movie as Roger, Anita, and Manny are counting the puppies. When they finish their head count, Anita wonders where they all came from. Roger then says, "Pongo, you old rascal," while wagging his finger at the Dalmatian, implying he had something to do with the increased population.
Oh,
Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. In this Disney sequel, Simba now rules the Pride lands as king. The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride begins with the birth of Nala and Simba's daughter, Kiara. Much like her father, Kiara is very curious and not overly cautious. One day, while exploring, she comes across Kovu, a lion cub from another pride known as the Outsiders. Simba forbids his daughter from seeing the cub again, and they're separated for many years. As the movie progresses, war breaks out between Simba's Pride and the Outsiders. Kovu and Kiara fall in love, and he suggests they run away and start a pride all our own, with a knowing look. The Emperor's New Groove.
I didn't catch
Spoiled
that
and
before.
selfish Emperor Cusco thinks everything revolves around him. In the Emperor's New Groove, he is accidentally turned into a llama by ex-advisor Yzma when she tries to kill him. The young Emperor teams up with the reluctant Pacha in order to return to his palace. Near the end of the film, the duo are cornered by Yzma in her lab while searching for an antidote. When she catches up to them, she says, "I bet you weren't expecting this," as she hikes her skirt up to her thigh. Cusco and Pacha immediately begin to freak out until they see that she's only revealing a knife. It kind of makes you wonder what they thought was going to happen, as they look extremely relieved afterwards. Toy Story 3. In the third installment of the Toy Story trilogy, Andy's toys end up at the Sunnyside Daycare Center where they meet Lotso. He is the leader of the daycare toys and welcomes them to their new home. As time goes on, however, we see that Lotso's intentions are far from pure. When the toys discover that Andy really did intend to keep them, they try to leave. Lotso has no intention of letting them go, though. When he calls Mrs. Potato Head Sweet Potato, she becomes angry and begins shouting at him. Lotso then reaches forward and removes her lips, causing Mr. Potato Head to protest, saying, "Nobody takes my wife's mouth except me." Hercules. Not all jokes have to be dirty to be funny to adults. In Disney's Hercules, we're introduced to the grumpy satyr, Phil. When young Hercules begs Phil to train him, Phil tells him he can't help him. He tells Hercules 2 words, "I am retired." Hercules is then seen counting the words out on his fingers and looking confused. Kids see this as just a funny moment because of the young hero's expression. As an adult, we may better understand why this joke is so witty. In Greek,
I don't think
the phrase,
kids are that
"I am
slow.
retired"
I think they
is in
can
fact
understand.
only 2 words. Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph is the bad guy in this game, so he receives little recognition for the work that he does. Wreck-It Ralph begins with Ralph going to a villain support group. When he returns home, he's upset to see them celebrating their game's 30th anniversary without even inviting him. Peering through a pair of glass bottle binoculars, he sees that even Pac-Man has been invited, despite being from a different game. He calls Pac-Man a cherry-chasing dot muncher before storming into the building. Now, he could be referring to the fact that Pac-Man collects cherries and dots in his own game. However, it could also refer to another form of cherry chasing carried out by adult males. As for dot munching, we are not even going to go there. The Santa Claus. After accidentally causing Santa to fall off his roof, Tim Allen's character Scott Calvin in the Santa Claus must take over for Old St. Nick. Taking up the reins to Santa's sleigh, the reindeer take him and his son to a neighbor's roof. After reluctantly putting on the suit, he grabs the bag of toys. It causes him to levitate as he shouts in panic. His son Charlie, sitting in the sleigh, excitedly points out that his father is flying. Scott responds by saying, "It's okay, I'm used to it. I lived through the 60s. Take from that what you will, folks, but it sounds like Mr. Calvin had an interesting past." Ratatouille. Disney's Ratatouille certainly had its share of mildly inappropriate humor. The scene when Linguini is discovered in the walk-in fridge after having an argument with Remy the rat, for example. He fumbles to make an excuse, saying he was familiarizing himself with the vegetables. As he retreats, Chef Skinner calls back that one can get too familiar with vegetables. Or when Linguini is trying to tell Colette about his tiny chef and her eyes flick downward in concern. These jokes are a little too subtle for children to catch, but the parents watching may have had a little chuckle at the innuendos they implied. Aladdin.
I would have laughed at that.
Aladdin was the first animated film to cast a major celebrity, so it made quite an impression when it was first released. However, Robin Williams had a tendency to improvise his lines as the genie. This meant there were a fair amount of jokes aimed solely at adults. It's likely that kids didn't understand more than half of the references made by Williams, but for adults, it was hilarious. Throughout the film, there were many celebrity impressions, including Robert De Niro, Rodney Dangerfield, and Groucho Marx. The producers enjoyed this so much that the joke carried on into the next 2 Aladdin movies and the TV show. Can't get enough of these hidden jokes? Why not check out our other videos? If you like this one, you will love 10 grown-up jokes hidden in kids' movies. Thanks so much for watching, and bye-bye.
Yeah, that was 10 Disney jokes that are funnier as an adult. Some of these I got, some of these I would have gotten had I seen the movie, but yeah, I didn't realize Aladdin had, like, 2 other movies. I knew they had a show. I'm pretty sure, like, almost all of the, like, the older Disney movies had, like, little shows on, like, Toy Story had the Buzz Lightyear show, Lion King had Timon and Pumbaa, this had, well, the Aladdin show, Lilo and Stitch had their show, sorry, but yeah, I loved this. If you like this video, I'll link it below, as I will the channel, The Richest. Anywho, if you like me reacting to stuff, please subscribe to my channel, Shirley Vaughn, and like this video. And also, please follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at Alien Lady Kisses. And if there's anything you guys want me to react to, please leave it in the comments below, and I will get to it, and I'll react to it. I'll react to anything and everything. Until next time, bye!